Hello and welcome. My name is Grace Walker. I'm an independent designer and Webflow expert working to build websites that are visually stunning and technically sound. My career has steadily been shrinking in team size since I started working. I started my career working in-house for a mid-sized creative team for a very large government corporation. I then worked at a small studio with half a dozen team members, and now I work on my own. When I first started freelancing, I thought that working solo would be a temporary stepping stone. When I got busy, the advice that I received from peers and media was constantly telling me that I had to hire other designers and team members in order to scale and grow my business into an infinite creative empire. Building an agency seemed like the only goal to pursue. But what if it wasn't my goal? I've made the choice to stay small on purpose, and I believe that choice has been key for my ability to thrive as a Webflow solopreneur. I share this story not because I think that the agency model is wrong, but to help creatives understand that there are other options that can be right for them to build a creative career. Let's start with the obvious question: why stay small? For me, there are three key reasons: simplicity, flexibility, and control. Simplicity. There is only so much energy in a day and only so many days that we get. I feel so lucky that I found something I love to do for work, and I want to spend as much time and energy as possible getting really good at that thing. Staying small means I can focus on my craft without having to add extra energy for things like team meetings, direction, and management. I have simple goals and I want a simple life. And staying small removes many of the complex parts of running a business. Flexibility. A primary reason I went freelance in the first place was to have more flexibility in my career. Because I only have to worry about my time and income, I can spend more time doing things that I love, like taking Mondays off to ride my bike in the mountains, taking extended breaks, or working from home when I want to. I also have flexibility in the type of work that I do. I can work solo, collaborate with other designers, contract for agencies, or create products of my own. I can also pivot easily when my clients' needs change and move quickly to help them reach their goals. Finally, control. I find relief in knowing that I'm in control of my career. If I want to make more money, that's on me. If I want to take a break, that's on me. If I made a mistake, that's only on me. Both in the wins and losses, I find relief in knowing that I'm in control of the direction, pace, and reputation of my business. Because I have limited capacity, this also means that I have great control in who I choose to work with. I never have to say yes to work because I depend on a certain quantity, but I can say yes based on the quality of the project and client. These reasons are at the core of my values for staying small, but how do I actually put them into practice? I think I could talk about this all day long, but right now I'm going to run through my top 5 tips to thrive as a Webflow solopreneur. Number 1, wow your clients. This is the core of where Webflow comes into my success. This is my top tip because it really is the base for the rest. The pursuit of great work is the foundation for any successful creative career, solo or otherwise. Wowing your clients means going above and beyond their expectations. Webflow is so key here because it opens up so many more possibilities for designers. As a freelancer, I can design and build a fully functioning, beautiful website for a client, similar to what a larger team may be able to do with custom code, and I can often do it faster with more flexibility and control. For example, I recently had a client who moved their product launch up by 2 weeks and wanted to have their website live sooner than my initial timeline. Because I have flexibility in my schedule, I said, let's do it. I worked to build the site out and ensure it was live for their launch. My client was thrilled, and I was happy that I could deliver something above and beyond their expectations. However, wowing your clients doesn't always have to relate to your creative output. I strive to wow clients on even the more mundane aspects of a project, like scheduling, communication, and content organization. Some examples of this could be following up every meeting with a clear action item list, providing a clear structure for content population, or simply delivering things when you said you would. Wowing your clients is possible because of the flexibility of working solo and the control you have to say yes when opportunities present themselves. Number 2, celebrate your work. Honestly, I debated putting this first, but you need work to celebrate, so I put it second. I cannot stress enough how important it is for creators to celebrate their work. Unlike at a studio or a large agency, there is no one else that is going to promote your work, strategize about publicity, or submit to industry awards. This can be a really hard thing to get over. Some of the most talented designers that I know really struggle to share their work because they view it as boastful or egotistical or maybe a little bit cringy. But clients can't hire you unless they know you exist. Celebrating your work can look like sharing when you sign a new client, posting your latest build, talking about your process, or sharing testimonials from your clients. I recently shared a thread of websites that I built on Twitter. The post garnered over 130,000 impressions, 2,500 profile visits, and 9,300 engagements. While not all of my posts or your posts or anyone's are going to have that kind of traction, when something resonates with people, it's a great way to get your name out there. The week after I posted this, I received 10 new inquiries for work, compared to previous weeks, which averaged about 2 to 3 each. I'd also like to add here that I think it's worthwhile to show up as yourself on social media. Not as a studio or a nickname, but for me as Grace Walker. People want to work with people, and getting to know you can humanize your work. I've found Twitter to be a great platform to share about work, but I know others prefer different platforms. Celebrating your work leads to more visibility, usually more leads, and more control over the work that you say yes to. Number 3, be selfish. When you're starting out, you take on all of the work that comes your way. I definitely did this. But once you have a steady stream of projects, it's really essential to be selfish with your time. I started to realize this after the first year of freelancing, that if I wasn't careful, my career was going to be swept in a direction that I didn't anticipate simply because I wasn't prioritizing what I wanted. I was just saying yes to anything that came my way. Being selfish often involves a lot of reflection. What are my values? Does this project align with those values? If I say yes to this, what am I saying no to? I'll try to practice this often, and if I'm not excited about a project, even though I know I could do a good job, I'll say no. This could be due to the industry, the chemistry with the client, or just a kind of build that I'm not interested in. I also try to think about this from the client's perspective. A client deserves to work with someone who is excited about their project. And if that's not me, it's okay to say no. Being selfish allows you to cut complexity and focus on the work that you want to do. Number 4, find complementary collaborators. Being a solopreneur doesn't mean you always have to work alone. Collaborating with other designers across disciplines that are complementary can open up opportunities for larger scale work without scaling the number of people on your team. This kind of structure can also be ideal to really hone in on what you enjoy working on. For example, when I first started freelancing, I offered branding and web design and development and SEO. And through many projects, I realized that what I really enjoyed was the web design and development. I started to think consciously about how I could focus just on that aspect of a project. And I made connections with brand designers who are responsible for setting the strategy, creative direction, and foundational elements of a brand. Once they've completed the brand work, I jump in to execute the website design and development. They get to do what they love, I get to do what I love, and the client gets a hyper-focused team of creatives that excel at their part of the process. These kind of relationships are often more of a collaboration than an agency structure, and both parties can operate independently. By paring back my offering and collaborating with other creatives, I can simplify my work to the elements that I excel at. Number 5, build a support system. Something I wish I would have done sooner in my independent career is prioritize building a support system. I think of a support system like strong pillars that hold me up and help me be resilient. If one of them is weak, the others can take more of the load. But if none of them are strong, then I can't be strong. My support system looks something like this: emotional well-being, physical health, community, and necessities. In my first year of freelancing, this support system was pretty non-existent. I thought that I had to do everything and be everything to everyone, and if I wasn't, I was a failure. But building supports in each of these areas has helped me become a stronger person and a better designer. I started counseling to talk through business and personal challenges. I prioritize movement, like running and cycling, to take care of my body and prioritize and reinforce that I can do hard things. I started to become more active in the Webflow community online and made connections with other designers for critique and commiseration. And finally, I asked for help at home with things like grocery shopping, cleaning, and the mental load of running a household. I have a fantastic partner who stepped up when I realized that I really needed some more support here. Particularly as a solopreneur, building a support system gives you greater control of your work and life. The beauty in solo work comes back to my values: simplicity, flexibility, and control. Staying small is a choice that I've made for now, but I have a long career ahead of me. Nothing is permanent. You work at things until they no longer serve you, and then you adapt to the next challenge. Being independent allows me to hone in on my design skills and work at becoming great at what I do. If that ever gets boring, I can reassess. But I hope to continue to have as much fun as I'm having right now. And I hope that with this talk, you can take away some tangible tips to build an independent career and know that growing your career doesn't have to mean growing a team. Thank you.